The internet has revolutionized our lives in countless positive ways, connecting us across distances and providing access to information like never before. We can communicate instantly, share our thoughts, and access a wealth of knowledge with just a few clicks. However, this digital revolution has also brought with it a dark side: digital abuse. The anonymity and reach of the internet have made it a breeding ground for malicious activities. This essay will explore three particularly insidious forms of digital abuse: swatting, doxing, and cyberstalking. These acts can cause significant emotional and psychological harm. Swatting is a dangerous prank where someone makes a false report to emergency services, often claiming a hostage situation or bomb threat, with the intent of sending a SWAT team to an unsuspecting victim's address. This can lead to traumatic experiences and even physical harm. Doxing involves publicly revealing someone's private or identifying information online, such as their home address, phone number, or place of work, with malicious intent. This exposure can lead to harassment, threats, and a loss of privacy. Cyberstalking refers to the use of electronic communications to harass, intimidate, or stalk another person. This persistent and unwanted attention can make victims feel unsafe and constantly on edge. This can include sending threatening messages, spreading rumors, or constantly monitoring and commenting on someone's online activity. The relentless nature of cyberstalking can severely impact a person's mental health. These forms of digital abuse are not merely online annoyances, they have real-world consequences for victims. The emotional and psychological toll can be devastating. Understanding the severity of these crimes is essential in combating them and creating a safer digital space for everyone. By raising awareness and promoting digital literacy, we can help protect ourselves and others from digital abuse. The impact of swatting, doxing, and cyberstalking on victims is profound and far-reaching. These malicious acts can disrupt lives in ways that are both immediate and long-lasting. These digital attacks can cause significant psychological distress, leading to anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and even suicidal thoughts. The emotional scars left behind can take years to heal, if they ever do.
Victims of swatting, in particular, often experience intense fear and trauma when a heavily armed SWAT team storms their home based on false information. The terror of such an event can be life-altering, leaving individuals feeling unsafe in their own homes.
Doxing can lead to various forms of harassment, both online and offline. The exposure of personal information can make victims targets for a wide range of malicious activities. Victims may be subjected to relentless cyberbullying, hate mail, and death threats. The constant barrage of threats can make everyday life feel like a battlefield. Their personal information may be used to stalk them, vandalize their property, or even commit identity theft. The invasion of privacy is profound and deeply unsettling, or even commit identity theft. The financial and emotional toll of such crimes can be devastating.
Cyberstalking, by its very nature, creates an environment of constant fear and anxiety for victims. The feeling of being watched and followed can be overwhelming. The relentless harassment can make them feel unsafe in their own homes and communities. The sense of security that most people take for granted is shattered.
The emotional toll of these experiences can be devastating, leaving deep psychological scars, leaving victims feeling isolated, vulnerable, and deeply distrustful of others. The impact on their social lives and relationships can be profound. It's crucial to recognize that the harm inflicted by digital abuse is not virtual. It's very real and can have long-lasting consequences for victims' well-being. The need for support and understanding is paramount. Prosecuting perpetrators of swatting, doxing, and cyberstalking presents unique challenges for law enforcement and the judicial system. These crimes, which often occur in the digital realm, require a different approach compared to traditional criminal activities. One significant obstacle is the difficulty of tracing the perpetrators, who often hide behind anonymous online profiles and use sophisticated techniques to mask their identities and locations. This makes it incredibly challenging for investigators to pinpoint the exact source of the abuse.
This anonymity can embolden abusers, making them feel invincible and untouchable. They believe that their actions will go unpunished, which can lead to an escalation in their abusive behavior. Another challenge lies in the nature of evidence in digital abuse cases. Unlike physical evidence, digital evidence can be fleeting and intangible. electronic evidence can be easily deleted or altered, making it difficult to gather and preserve. This requires specialized skills and tools to recover and authenticate the data. Moreover, the sheer volume of data generated online can be overwhelming, making it a daunting task for investigators to sift through and identify relevant information. The process of analyzing this data is time-consuming and requires significant resources.
Furthermore, the law itself is often slow to catch up with the rapidly evolving nature of technology and online behavior. This lag can create gaps in legal frameworks that perpetrators can exploit. Existing laws may not adequately address the specific nuances of digital abuse, making it difficult to prosecute perpetrators to the fullest extent of the law. This can result in lenient sentences or even cases being dismissed. These challenges highlight the need for specialized training for law enforcement agencies, updated legislation that reflects the realities of digital abuse, and increased resources dedicated to investigating and prosecuting these crimes. Only through a concerted effort can we hope to effectively combat digital abuse and bring perpetrators to justice. Social media platforms have become both the breeding ground for digital abuse and a potential tool for combating it. On the one hand, the anonymity and reach of social media provide fertile ground for perpetrators to engage in swatting, doxing, and cyberstalking. The viral nature of online content means that harmful information can spread quickly and widely, amplifying the damage inflicted on victims.
On the other hand, social media platforms have a responsibility to create a safer online environment for their users. This includes implementing robust reporting mechanisms, investing in content moderation technologies, and cooperating with law enforcement to identify and hold perpetrators accountable. Some platforms have taken steps to address digital abuse, such as introducing tools for users to control who can contact them and what content they see.
However, much more needs to be done to proactively prevent abuse rather than simply reacting to it after the fact. Section 5. The need for speed, removing harmful content quickly and effectively. When it comes to mitigating the harm caused by swatting, doxing, and cyberstalking, speed is of the essence. The longer harmful content remains online, the more damage it can inflict on victims. Social media companies have a responsibility to remove abusive content quickly and efficiently to minimize the potential for further harm. This requires investing in robust content moderation systems that can identify and remove violating content promptly. While automated systems can play a role in flagging potentially harmful content, human review is essential to ensure accuracy and prevent the removal of legitimate speech. Victims of digital abuse should have clear and accessible channels to report abuse and request the removal of harmful content. Social media companies should prioritize these requests and respond to them in a timely and compassionate manner. Section 6. A delicate balance preserving evidence while protecting victims. Removing harmful content is crucial for protecting victims, but it also raises the issue of preserving evidence for potential legal action. Deleting content entirely can make it more difficult to hold perpetrators accountable for their actions. Social media companies need to find a balance between protecting victims and preserving evidence. One solution is to remove the content from public view while retaining it on their servers for a specific period, allowing law enforcement agencies to access it if necessary for investigations. Another approach is to provide victims with the option to download and preserve evidence of the abuse they have experienced, even if they choose to have the content removed from the platform. This empowers victims to take control of their own narratives and pursue justice on their own terms. Section 7. Empowering victims, pursuing justice, improving support systems and policies. Addressing the issue of digital abuse requires a multifaceted approach that includes not only holding perpetrators accountable, but also providing adequate support to victims.
Law enforcement agencies need to receive specialized training on how to investigate and prosecute these crimes effectively, treating victims with empathy and understanding. Victims of digital abuse often require specialized support services, such as counseling, legal aid, and advocacy. However, these services are often underfunded and difficult to access. Increased funding for victim support services is essential to help victims cope with the emotional and practical fallout of digital abuse.
Furthermore, there is a need for greater public awareness about the seriousness of digital abuse. Educational campaigns can help to dispel myths, encourage reporting, and promote empathy for victims. By working together, we can create a culture where digital abuse is not tolerated and victims feel empowered to come forward and seek justice. Section 8. A collective responsibility. Building a safer digital future. The rise of digital abuse poses a serious threat to our well-being in an increasingly interconnected world. Swatting, doxing, and cyberstalking are not mere online pranks. They are crimes with real-world consequences that can have a devastating impact on victims' lives. Addressing this issue requires a collective effort. Law enforcement agencies need the resources and training to investigate and prosecute these crimes effectively. Social media companies must take proactive steps to prevent abuse on their platforms, remove harmful content quickly, and support victims. Most importantly, we need to foster a culture of empathy and respect online. This means speaking out against digital abuse, supporting victims, and promoting responsible online behavior. By working together, we can create a safer and more inclusive digital world for everyone.